Hello, friends. If you were born in 1960, the Social Security Administration calculates your benefit differently than it calculates benefits for people born in any other year. And right now, in 2026, you are either approaching the most consequential financial decision of your retirement, or you have already made it without knowing these rules applied specifically to you. The reason your birth year matters comes down to two things: a rule called the windfall elimination provision, a rule called the government pension offset, and a law passed at the end of 2024 that changed both of them, but not completely and not the same way for everyone. People born in 1960 sit in a transition zone that most explanations of this law get wrong or skip over entirely. Today, I am going to get it right, walk through what it means for your specific situation, and tell you exactly what to check and what to do. Before we get into it, if you are not subscribed, please do that right now and turn on the bell. The Social Security Fairness Act that passed in December 2024 changed rules that had been in place for decades, and the SSA has been processing corrections and back payments throughout 2025 and into 2026. Those corrections are still rolling out. If you were born in 1960 and have already claimed, there is a real possibility your record has not been updated yet, and nobody from SSA is going to call you to say so. What I do on this channel is track exactly this kind of update and get it to you before the window to act closes. Hit subscribe, turn on the bell, and let's get into it. Let me start with the specific reason being born in 1960 puts you in a different position than people born in 1959 or 1961. Your full retirement age is 67. That is the same as everyone born between 1960 and the present. That part is straightforward. What is not straightforward is how the Social Security Fairness Act interacts with your benefit calculation, depending on whether you have or had a pension from a government job, a job that did not pay into Social Security. Before December 2024, two provisions reduced Social Security benefits for government workers with non-covered pensions. The Windfall Elimination Provision, or WEP, reduced the Social Security retirement benefit of anyone who also received a pension from a job that did not pay SS taxes. The Government Pension Offset, or GPO, reduced or eliminated spousal and survivor Social Security benefits for the same group. Both provisions had been in place since the 1980s and affected millions of teachers, firefighters, police officers, federal employees, and other public sector workers. The Social Security Fairness Act eliminated both WEP and GPO for most people, effective for benefits payable from January 2024 onward. This is where people born in 1960 need to pay close attention, because the timing of this change relative to your claiming age creates a situation that is specific to your birth year and the years immediately surrounding it. If you were born in 1960, and you claimed Social Security before January 2024, meaning you claimed at 62, 63, or some point before the law took effect, your benefit was calculated under the old WEP and GPO rules. The Fairness Act should have triggered a correction to your benefit amount, and in many cases a back payment. Whether that correction has actually been processed on your specific record is a question you need to ask SSA directly, because processing has been slow and uneven across the country. Now let's talk about the group that still has time. If you were born in 1960 and have not yet filed for Social Security, here is what the current rules mean for your claiming decision. WEP and GPO no longer apply to your benefit calculation. If you worked in a government job with a non-covered pension and also have Social Security credits from other work, your SS benefit is now calculated without the WEP reduction that would have applied before 2024. This means your projected benefit at ssa.gov, if you check it today, should reflect the Post-Fairness Act calculation. However, if you last checked your statement before January 2024, the number you remember is not the number that applies to you now. Log into your My Social Security account at ssa.gov and pull a current statement. The projected amounts at 62, 67, and 70 should now be higher than they were before the law changed. Your full retirement age is exactly 67. Claiming at 62 reduces your benefit by 30% permanently. Claiming at 70 increases it by 24% above your full retirement age amount permanently. Those numbers have not changed. What has changed is the base benefit those percentages are applied to, which for WEP-affected workers is now higher than it was before 2024. If you are currently working in a government job and approaching retirement, the order in which you stop working, begin receiving your pension, and file for Social Security all affect your total lifetime income. The interaction between your pension start date and your SS claiming date is worth running through with a Social Security benefits counselor, especially now that the WEP reduction is gone, because the calculation that made delaying SS unattractive for some government workers has changed. What made sense as a strategy before 2024 may not be the optimal strategy in 2026. Now for the group that already claimed. If you were born in 1960 and you are currently receiving Social Security benefits that were calculated under the old WEP or GPO rules, you are owed a correction, and that correction comes in two parts. The first part is a permanent increase to your ongoing monthly benefit. The WEP reduction that was applied to your benefit before January 2024 should now be removed for workers whose benefits were reduced by WEP. The maximum reduction before the law changed was $587 per month. The actual reduction on your specific record depended on your pension amount and your SS earnings history, but whatever reduction was applied should now be gone from your ongoing monthly payment going forward from January 2024. The second part is back pay. Because the Fairness Act was effective from January 2024, anyone whose benefit was being reduced by WEP or GPO before that date is owed the difference between what they were paid and what they should have been paid from January 2024 to the date their record was corrected. For many people, that back payment covers 12, 18, even 24 months of additional benefit. At $300 to $500 per month in correction, that represents back payments of $3,600 to $12,000 or more depending on timing. Here is the critical issue. SSA has been processing these corrections in batches throughout 2025 and into 2026. Not every affected record has been updated. If you have not seen an increase in your monthly payment and you have not received a back payment notice or deposit, your record may not have been processed yet. This does not mean the money is lost. It means you need to call SSA at 1-800-772-1213 and ask specifically about the status of your WEP and GPO corrections under the Social Security Fairness Act. Ask them directly. Has my record been updated, and when should I expect the back payment? There is a third group that needs to hear this and is often missed in conversations about the Fairness Act. Spouses and surviving spouses of people born in 1960 or of government workers in any birth year. The government pension offset previously reduced or eliminated spousal and survivor Social Security benefits for anyone receiving a government pension from a non-covered job. The GPO reduction was 2/3 of the pension amount applied against the spousal or survivor benefit, which in many cases wiped out the spousal benefit entirely. If you are a spouse or widow of a government worker, and you are not receiving a spousal or survivor benefit because of GPO, the Fairness Act elimination of GPO means you may now be eligible for a benefit you were never able to claim before. This applies regardless of your own birth year. If your spouse or late spouse worked in a government non-covered job, and you were told you did not qualify for spousal or survivor benefits because of GPO, that determination is no longer accurate. Call SSA at 1-800-772-1213 and ask specifically about your eligibility for spousal or survivor benefits now that the GPO has been eliminated. If your spouse has passed away, ask about the divorced surviving spouse benefit as well. These are separate conversations from the WEP correction, and SSA will not proactively reach out to tell you that you now qualify. You have to ask. Here is the summary for each group. If you were born in 1960 and have not yet claimed Social Security, log into ssa.gov today and pull your current Social Security statement. The projected benefit amount should reflect the Post-Fairness Act calculation without WEP reductions. If you have a government pension and last checked your statement before January 2024, the number has changed. Review it before you make any claiming decision. If you were born in 1960 and are already collecting Social Security, and your benefit was previously reduced by WEP or GPO, file SSA at 1-800-772-1213 and ask specifically about the status of your Fairness Act correction and back payment. If your record has not been updated, you are owed money and the processing has simply not reached your account yet. Ask directly, has my WEP or GPO reduction been removed? And when is my back payment being issued? If you are the spouse or surviving spouse of a government worker, and were told you did not qualify for spousal or survivor benefits because of GPO, call SSA and ask about your eligibility now that GPO has been eliminated. That conversation needs to happen as soon as possible, because the benefit will not come looking for you. Subscribe and share this with anyone you know who was born in 1960, who works or worked in a government job, or who is the spouse of someone who did. The people who need this information most are the ones least likely to find it on their own. I'll see you in the next one.